Hey, good evening. This is Brian Johnson. Welcome to my Monday night training, and I'm going to see if I can do this on the side, and I think that I can. So, back to normal. So, hey, welcome. It is my Monday night training, and if you've been connected with me for quite some time, I love you and I appreciate you. If this is your first time, just type first timer. That way I can make sure you are supported, make sure that you get loved on, and make sure that you get doctrinated into my classes and into just what we do here on Think Great, Lose Weight in the world of holistic health and wellness. And I appreciate you. I'm honored that you're investing your time with me because let's be honest, you only get so much of it. Matter of fact, you get 1,440 minutes a day. So what you choose to do with it means that you are not doing nothing else during that time. So I honor you and I appreciate you. What's up, Miss Teresa Mollicone Brown? So for those of you that are just popping on, just type first timer. And here's the topic of conversation tonight. So if it makes sense with you and it resonates with you, awesome. Join us. If it does not and you are not liking it, then you are okay to leave too. So tonight's going to be about heart disease. And it's really going to be about giving you the step-by-step process on what to do, how to recognize it, and what you can do to make some serious changes. Very simple, very easy, and have super fast and effective results. Naturally, that's what we all desire, right? Even without thinking. Me too. What's up, Miss Jennifer Cole? So, hey, if this is your first time, make sure... Even if this is your second time and you are not on my email list, you do not have all of the notes that I'm going through that I invested about 3 hours in the last couple of days putting these together so that you have them, so that you can follow on. What's up, Danny? So that you can follow along and really so you can be prepared and armed with the truth. And honestly, it is the truth that sets you free. Okay, so let's get to work. So first thing, it's very important for you, is if you have not gotten on my email list, make sure you do so. That is in step 1 above. You can still hop on there. You can get my notes. Make sure if you do go up to step 1 to get my notes, make sure you come back down in the message part and say, send me my notes. So that way I can make sure those are taken care of for you. And without further ado, let's move forward. For those of you that are veterans, I invite you and encourage you to please share. I am on a different mission today for the remainder of my experience here on Earth, and it's really to turn our world on its feet. Because there's so much stuff, aka skubala, aka do, that is out there that is not serving our family, our brothers and sisters, and the people on our planet that are looking for the truth. So this is why I invest my time doing these trainings for you, so you have the truth, so you can experience what God has blessed me with for you. So here we go. First off, it's important for you to understand that I am not a doctor. Everything that I say and use and discuss with you tonight, you should consult with your physician before you integrate and implement anything that I discuss. So, without further ado, let's get down to the fun part. So it's very important to understand heart disease does not discriminate who it affects and who it impacts. I guarantee if you're a human being that you have had someone in your life that has been impacted by heart disease. And be honest with you, did you know 95% is avoidable and preventable? 95% is avoidable and preventable. What's up, Miss Audrey Nicole? Hey, Jen. I appreciate you both for being on. I appreciate all of you, always. You're all my favorite ladies. So 95% of it is preventable. Have you ever been told that? Have you ever been taught that? Have you ever seen a commercial on TV by a drug company or by a hospital saying, did you know that 95% of heart disease instances is preventable and reversible with grocery store foods? Did you know that? I'll be honest with you. I don't watch much. What's up, Frederico? I don't watch TV. If I do, I watch Hulu and I watch alien shows. What's up, Francis? I watch alien shows. That's my thing. That's my deal. If that's my guilty pleasure of watching alien shows because I trip out on them. And the government's also hiding all that stuff about us too. You know the government's been in communication with aliens for quite some time. So, yeah, Sonia Robinson, because that's right. Sonia, welcome. This is the first time I recognize your face and your name. So welcome to my training. So I get a little off on tangents. So let's get back on the topic of discussion, all right? So let's talk about some symptoms. And here's what I say, like, even me being healthy, I still have markers. When I go to get my blood work done, I still have markers where some of my stuff is a little elevated. And I'm vegan and vegetarian for the most part. I have some meats on occasions. I'm extremely active, and I still have genetic markers of things that I get to work on specifically. So I'm going to talk to you about what those are tonight, and I'm going to empower you with the truth so you can make choices, so you can have the wisdom to understand why you're making choices. And it's raining. Yes. I love it when it rains. I love it when it's sunny outside too. I'm grateful for all of it. All right, so let's talk about symptoms. For coronary heart disease, and I'm reading from page 1 of my notes. If you have them, this is where I'm at. Okay? Coronary artery disease can range from no symptoms to chest pains to heart attack. And typically by the time you get a heart attack, it's a little late. It's a little late to start changing foods. If you make it through your heart attack, you definitely can have a new lease on life. But for the most part, if you get a heart attack or a stroke, the damage has been done. Our body is super amazing. You can definitely make amazing strides to bring your health back into your grasp and your control for the most part. But really the time to start thinking about reversing these things is now. Like, when is now a good time to start taking action and taking advantage of exactly what's available to you on our planet? And look, all I'm going to do is bring you back to nature. And instinctively, you know that's where your magic is. Instinctively, you know that's where God's blessing is for you in your life. It's not in the doctor. You should only go to the doctor to get healthier, not because you're sick. Like, I have not been sick in 24 years. I don't get immunizations. I don't get flu shots. It does not make sense to me to put poisons and toxins in my body to get healthier. Does that make sense to you? Naturally, I'm sure you can agree with me that that does not make sense. That does not even sound logical. I could ask my 9-year-old daughter when she was 3, and she would say, you know, Dad, I just don't know if that makes sense. That's like taking your car down to the gas station and saying, hey, give me a pound of your best sugar. I'm going to put it in my tank, and I'm going to watch my car run like a freaking drag car. It's not going to work. It doesn't make any sense with your body. And unfortunately, a lot of our Western medicine physicians are completely pulled financially. There's a lot of stuff going on with Big Pharma and people that induce them with money and bribe them with things to enhance their paychecks. And what the deal is they're completely detached. I did some research. I was looking for some statistics, and the recommended amounts of nutritional education for most schools for Western medicine is about 24 hours. Most of them literally get less than that. And to kind of give you an idea, I've calculated well over probably 15 or 20,000 hours I have invested in just nutrition alone. And I'm not saying that as a pat on my back. I'm saying that to kind of give you an idea of the levels of information and wisdom that's available to you, so that as you take your doctor the information I'm sharing with you tonight, he or she is going to look at you like you're crazy. There's a possibility they may even tell you this. They may say, you know what, young lady or young man, do not mix those vegetables with your medications. They're going to hurt you. This is what I'm talking about. There's a complete disconnect. What's up, Spencer? All right. So you have high blood pressure. You have high blood pressure often has no symptoms other than having high blood pressure, okay? Over time, if untreated, it can cause health conditions such as heart disease and stroke. So allow me to share this with you. I had high blood pressure for most of my adult life, 140/90. As soon as I pulled the majority of my meats out of my diet and went more vegan and vegetarian, my blood pressure dropped immediately. It went to 127/30 something or 120/70 something. Like, it's still, even when I'm super agitated or highly emotional or stressed over experiences, it's still under 140/90, like way under 140/90. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, when we eat meat, there's something called cross-species transference, which means that everything that we eat, whether it's a fruit, whether it's a plant, whether it's whatever, that has an energy signature. So when we put it in our body, in our biodome, that energy signature also messes with the energy signature that is in our body, which means it's going to create some type of offspring or reaction. So when you're eating meats and you're eating foods, meat specifically is what I'm going to talk about now. And understand, I'm not anti-meat. I'm anti not feeling good. I'm pro feeling great. And meat just happened to be one of the things that I was blessed to drop out and to try out that made a massive difference. You do what works for you. I vote your victory and love you where you're at, right? So what happens is when you have meats and they are killed, they have norepinephrine and epinephrine, which are two adrenal hormones that are released into their bloodstream in the tissues. When we eat the tissues, that automatically affects how our body shows up and how our stress levels are and how our adrenals are and how our blood pressure is, all of that stuff. So my invitation to you is this. It has been scientifically proven that vegan and vegetarians do live longer. Now here's the thing. I've seen lots of vegans and vegetarians that are not healthy. They're not healthy because they don't have the proper balances of proteins, carbs, and fat. So you still have to figure out ways to get your protein, and they have stuff that's out there. Pea-based protein that I use right now is amazing, called Beyond Beef. Super helpful. And hey, if you have not shared and you feel called, please do. I appreciate you. Audrey, will you tell everyone how to share? I think it's pretty easy now. And I thank you so much, and so does the person that you're going to help, because really that's what it's all about. All right, so that's just a little bit about vegan and vegetarian foods. If you're fighting heart disease, that is by far one of the fastest things that you can do to dramatically improve the quantity and the quality of your existence. And naturally, that's what you really desire, right? Of course, me too. Will you type on there how you do it for our awesome friends and brothers and sisters on there so they know how? All right, so the main symptom is loss of consciousness and unresponsiveness when you have a heart attack or cardiac arrest. Congestive heart failure. Symptoms include shortness of breath, fatigue, swollen legs, and a rapid heartbeat. And she says, click on the little guy on the left and click share. Awesome. Thank you, dear. Peripheral artery disease. Anytime you hear the word peripheral, that's talking about your arms and your legs. That's your peripherals, okay? Peripheral artery disease means symptoms may include leg pain, particularly when walking, okay? Stroke. Is anybody familiar with what stroke actually does and what that means? If you're familiar with what stroke actually does in your body, just type a yes. If you're not, just type a no, because my whole intention is to invest a significant amount of wisdom with you so you have a very good understanding of what you can do today. And more than likely, this is going to be a 2 or 3-part series because I have some pretty in-depth information that we're going to get into. So just question number 1. If you are familiar with what a stroke is and does and means, just type a yes. If not, type a no. If this is your first time, make sure you type first timer. That way I can make sure you're supported. You can also connect with my family and everyone that's actually on here because we have a great tribe of people here that are very caring and very helpful. So they will assist you. If I'm not able to answer your question, they definitely will do so. What's up, Miss Vanessa, my team member in bold? What's up, Mr. Tim Hood? All right, so far we have a couple of no's. So awesome. Thank you, Chris. So allow me to share with you what exactly a stroke is, okay? A stroke is when someone has a clot. What's up, Matt Mize? It's when someone has a clot in their body, specifically that is affecting their body's ability to get oxygen to their brain. Hey, Sean Brown. Welcome, brother. A stroke is when someone has a blood clot that is affecting oxygen transport into their brain. Hey, Sonia. I recognize you from the second little conversation. So, hey, awesome. I'm glad all of you are here. So if there's any questions, make sure you type them on there. If I don't get to them in my training, I always go back afterwards, and I'm active on my trainings all week long because people are watching the replays. So you have full access to ask me whatever questions, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And I appreciate your patience, and most importantly, I appreciate you and your participation because that's going to be most valuable for you. Okay, so stroke. When someone has a blood clot that affects the oxygen uptake into their brain, obviously it's not a good thing. Like you've probably seen people who have drooped faces or who have arms and legs that are not working appropriately, allow me to explain to you. These symptoms are very detrimental and very reversible. Our bodies are created by God. God lives in our bodies. When we give our bodies what God has put on our planet for the exact symptoms that are going on, our bodies know what to do with it. And allow me to explain something to you just for a second. I'm not anti-Western medicine. I'm for the miracles that they create. I'm not happy with the areas that they don't touch on. They don't touch on everyday life. They don't touch on oxygen, why it's important. They don't touch on what foods are going to help your body to heal when you get out of surgery, or why you even come down with an issue. They don't pay attention to the symptoms that show up emotionally, which in my opinion is where everything happens. In the land of body language, which any of you have been connected with me before, body language is where the gold. Hey mom, love you. Body language is where your gold is. When you truly can understand what your body is actually telling you, wow. Imagine how big of an impact that would make in your life. If you understood that you had a knee pain on your right knee and that you had some male figure unforgiveness or with something that has been done, how important would that be for you to understand and to be able to do the emotional work on it? Because guess what? When you don't deal with your knee issue or you don't deal with your masculine unforgiveness, I wasn't even talking about you, Jennifer, but I'm grateful you popped up and said that, because Jennifer had a pretty awesome experience. We had a conversation on Friday. I was connecting with her, and she told me about how she blasted her knee, and she's been an amazing athlete all her life, and really what it was is she had some unforgiveness with a former partner and went skiing that day and blasted her whole knee and had nasty surgeries and everything and completely obliterated her quality of life. Wouldn't you agree, Jennifer? So what she learned was that that's where our bodies house pain. When we have masculine unforgiveness, it shows up in our knee. So then we have experiences that create knee issues and knee problems. More importantly, when it goes further than that, that is where people have kidney stones and have kidney failure. When your right kidney is messed up, that's masculine, that's male figure side. When your left kidney is messed up, that is female unforgiveness. Same thing with your left knee. And I'm talking body language right now. We're not going to dig into that a lot. I just like to open some files so you understand, in my opinion, where Western medicine has opportunity. Opportunity to grow and to integrate different systems that are effective. Because imagine this. Imagine if you went into your doctor and your doctor asked you questions about what was going on in your life emotionally. He talked about your food. He talked about what you are eating. And he talked about some potential outcomes of maybe some medicines, or hey, you know what? Instead of these medicines for your Parkinson's and for the shaking issue that you're having, let's try some raw cacao. Let's try some green fava beans. All of those are very high in L-dopa, which is the exact thing that dopamine comes from. That's the exact thing that the Parkinson's medicine comes from, is from the freaking plant. They just can't charge you as much money for a pill or for a green fava bean or a raw cacao bean as they can for a prescription made that has all that stuff in it. Make no mistake. Understand this, friends, brothers and sisters. This is a fact. Our system is designed to take your money and to keep you in it. It's not designed to get you healthy. You can go bankrupt if you get ill. Selling your house off to pay for your freaking medications. Some of this stuff is nuts as far as what I've heard. Crazy. Like, I have conversations with people whose doctors tell them do not eat vegetables while you're on chemotherapy because those vegetables are going to interfere with your medications, for Christ's sake. Does that make sense to you? No, it doesn't to me neither. And my invitation to you is to trust me. Follow my advice. And allow me to share the truth with you. And those of you that follow me and know it is the truth that will set you free when you use it. Right? So let's move forward. So leg pain, particularly when walking. So here's what's funny. When you have peripheral artery disease and you have leg pain moving forward, that's also emotionally. Not understanding how to move forward with male figures in your life, or not understanding how to move forward with female figures in your life. It's all translatable. Okay? And any of you who are serious about things and would like to have a one-on-one conversation with me, I connect with people from these trainings specifically all the time. I open up a free 15-minute conversation to each one of you that has something that you're serious about talking about and are committed to doing what's necessary to change it. If you're not committed to do the work and you're not committed to walk into your pain, whatever it looks like, then don't message me, because you're just going to waste your time. For those of you that are, then I extend a free 15-minute conversation with you, and I'm willing to help you out. So you can message me, all right? So symptoms of stroke include trouble walking, speaking, understanding, paralysis or numbness of the face, arm, and leg. And then you have congenital heart disease. Symptoms include abnormal heart rhythms, blue tinted skin, interesting, shortness of breath, failure to feed or develop normally, and swollen body tissues or organs. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about some causes. What's up, Mario, my man? Let's talk about causes. Some of the main causes for heart disease is plaque buildup. Most people don't talk about this. Okay, plaque buildup thickens and stiffens artery walls, which can inhibit blood flow through your arteries to your organs and your tissues. Arteriosclerosis or atherosclerosis is almost the common cause of cardio disease. It can be caused by correctable problems, such as unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, being overweight, and smoking. Now, I'm not sure if you caught all this. I'm just going to say these 4 again. Okay? Unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, smoking, and being overweight. All 4 of those are directly preventable. And yes, you may have some genetic stuff that may pop up, and I'm going to explain something to you really cool here in a minute, because what we have been led to believe is that we are the slave to our genetics. If you've heard that we're slaves to our genetics, just type a yes. I would love to hear where you're at. This is going to be important. Cancer clinics have candy dishes out. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Jen? So if you've heard that we are slave to our genes, just type a yes, because I have something that you are going to find very interesting. Yes. What's up, Adam Willis? Hey, make sure y'all connect with Mario Toussaint on here. This gentleman's got an amazing entrepreneurial podcast I just did yesterday, and he's got some amazing stuff. Mario, leave your links where people can connect with your stuff on here. Yes, but I know better than that. Yes, but it's not true. All right, we got a few overachievers on here, so let's talk about that, right? So here is something for you. I have a great peace of mind for you. We are not victims and slaves to our genes. Our system would like for you to believe that, because guess what that means? It's not your fault. That's the way you're born, and that's just what you get to deal with. And therefore, you need to take these medications, because that's the only thing that's going to help you. And that's incorrect, and that's false. I have a different idea for you to chew on and consider. So open your mind. Ready? Have any of you read or heard of the book, The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton? Question. Have any of you heard or read the book by Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton? For those of you that are my first timers, make sure you hop up when we're done and go to step 1, and make sure you hop on my email list so I can send you all the notes, replays, and all the special offers that we send out to our family. That way we can stay connected and you can get the links for my training. So the Biology of Belief is very interesting. And I'm going to share with you a small excerpt of what the whole thing is about, so you understand today you get to walk free. Ready? Here we go. Signal transduction science recognizes that the fate and behavior of an organism is directly linked to its perception of the environment. In simple terms, the character of our life is based upon how we perceive it. Second, the new science of genetics, which literally means epigenetics, which literally means control above the genes, has completely upended our conventional understanding of genetic control. Genetics is a science of how environmental signals select, modify, and regulate gene activity. This new awareness reveals that the activity of our genes is constantly being modified in our response to our life experiences, which again emphasizes that our perceptions of our life shape our biology. Now, did you understand what I just meant when I said that? If you understood that with no questions, type a yes. If you would like for me to debrief on that a little bit more clearer, type a debrief. That way I know where you're at. If you understand it, type a yes. If you like to debrief, type debrief. That way I understand where you're at. Because this is a very important point. Like, matter of fact, this is a life-changing point. Because what this means is this. We are products of what we think. So if you've had experiences in your life that don't add up with I'm amazing and God loves me and my family loves me and I'm the best at what I do, whatever that means for you, and whatever the opposite of that may mean to you, what that means is this. That means that you are creating your perception by what you're believing in and what you're thinking about, which means that you can literally change everything about the way that you feel and how your genes show up by how you perceive yourself. It doesn't mean that you are a victim by your past experiences. You're only a victim if you choose to believe that it's not your fault, which means you don't take responsibility for where you're at. All right, we got a couple of people who would like to debrief. So for Matt, Audrey, and for those of you that are asking and requesting, I'm going to read this one more time so you can understand. And understand, I'm taking this directly from the book called The Biology of Belief. This is the most important part. This right here is factual scientific information by an extremely credible science who actually proved that we are not victims to our genes, and we can change our genes by how we think. They respond. Our cells have a way of eavesdropping on our thoughts. That's a bold law. Right, Vanessa? All right, so here we go. The science of signal transduction recognizes that the fate and behavior of an organism is directly linked to its perception of the environment. In simple terms, the character of our life is based upon how we receive it. Second, the new science of epigenetics, which literally means control above the genes, has completely upended our conventional understanding of genetic control. Genetics is the science of how environmental signals select, modify, and regulate gene activity. This new awareness reveals that the activity of our genes is constantly being modified in response to our life experiences, which again emphasizes that our perceptions of our life shape our biology. Look, my suggestion for you would be to invest in the book by Bruce Lipton called The Biology of Belief. Here, I'll show it to you. Hold on. The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Here's the book. Even if you just read the first 2 or 3 freaking pages, this is where that piece comes from. That was worth the whole book. Because literally what this does is scientifically proves, and he goes through how he proves all this with his science and his experiments, is this literally means that everything that you have been fed by our government and by people who want you to be a sheep, and just go along with the herd, this proves elsewhere that you are not a victim to your genes, and your life experiences do not dictate you as a human being and what you can do and create in your life. So my invitation to you is this: if you have stories that are going on that are not serving you with believing that God created you for a purpose, believing that you have the ability to heal, believing that you are not a slave to the genes and the experiences that have happened in your genetic and family lineage. I'm empowering you with the truth necessary to create a new paradigm shift right now. When is now a good time to act like you just hopped on planet Earth? Today. Create a new story. Understand that whatever's going on in your life, you are creating it on some level, either consciously or subconsciously. Change the process. That's right, Stephen Lewis. Welcome, brother. I haven't seen you yet, so I appreciate you stopping in, my friend. So, all right, so let's move forward a little bit. So I'm going to invest a little bit more time, maybe 10 minutes or so, if you're cool with that. So let's discuss what this actually means to you, because this is the most important of tonight's conversation. If you understood what I meant when I said you are not a victim to your genes, and you basically are creating your genes and your genetic expression by your perceptions and your beliefs about yourself, if you understand that, what does that mean for you? When is now a good time? You can use that. When is now a good time to make a choice? When is now a good time to change what you're experiencing in your life? And the only way you're going to change is by taking responsibility. Yeah, I appreciate you, Stephen. So what did that mean for you? Like, give me some feedback on what you gathered and what that statement means to you. What does that mean in your life walking forward? How are you going to create miracles? And more importantly, now that your miracle has landed, and all the stories and stuff that you used to believe about yourself, now that all that stuff is completely false and irrelevant, and you step into the highest version of yourself, what does that mean for you moving forward today? Brand new. I would love to hear from you. Create reality. What about your reality? What do you choose to create with your reality? More of the same? My thriving reality, my enthusiastic relationships, my loving and thriving partnerships in business and life, my health. What does that mean for you specifically? Specificity is key. Specificity with feeling combined is where you're really going to get to creating your life and experiences. Hey, Jenny, I was thinking about you today. It's funny that you popped up. Execution time of all my desires. Yes, well, what about your desires already being fulfilled? Coming from a place of already being and having. You yourself is in charge of your health. That's correct. Sonia, life and death is in the power of thoughts and the tongue. That's right. By your words you're justified, and by your words you're condemned. How perception affects our health. Yes, it affects your outcomes in life. Not just your health. It affects your experiences. It affects the quality of your experiences. It affects the people in your experiences. Your perception and what you think about yourself with the thoughts that are going around and the stories that are going on in your head is what's creating your life. So let me ask you a question. Do you have any stories that are going on right now that aren't serving you? How do you know if you have stories going on? Here's how you know. If you have pains and illnesses in your body, if you have broken relationships, if you have job turmoil, if you have unfulfilledness, if you have non-sleep, if you're not getting sleep, if you're consistently feeling like you're not getting places, if you feel you're in a rut, you have stories going on. And guess what? I am not judging you. Because for those of you that have been connected with me, know my experiences, it's really all about, we're all on our perfect journey together. And when is now a good time to give yourself permission to forgive yourself? When is now a good time to create a different story? When is now a good time to write what you're desiring to experience versus what you don't want? How many times have you been with someone and asked them what they want to eat and they say, well, I don't want this and I don't want that? That's not what I asked. What do you want? What do you choose? What do you desire to have in your life? When you can consciously create that and get clear and specific and feel good about it without any rubs and any subconscious glitches, meaning you're not feeling worthy or whatever, That's really going to be the key for you moving forward. All right, so let's do just a little bit more, and then we're going to call it quits for tonight until we continue back on Wednesday. Okay, so here's some more stuff right here. We're going to switch gears just a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about statins, and we're going to talk about prescription drugs. We're talking about heart disease, and for all of the stuff that I've talked about so far, it leads all into heart disease and any kind of other illness or symptom. Your life is a garden. That's right. Dig it. That's great. All right. You got to crack yourself up. I do often. All right, so here we go. A study done in Finland reported in the Journal of the American Medical Association in 1991 showed that deaths from heart attacks and strokes were 46% more in those taking cholesterol medication lowering drugs. Taking statins has not been proven to expand and lengthen anyone's life. It's just shown to lower their cholesterol. So a lot of the stuff that's being put out there, there's other options. There's a lot of other options. And it's really going to come from you really getting clear on what's functioning emotionally in your body. Because let's face it, we're spiritual beings living a physical experience. Anything that happens emotionally first. Where it shows up at is indicative of what emotion is functioning in our body. Anytime you're talking heart issues, explore love being painful or being quote unquote heartbroken. That is a big deal. Because unless you're really clear with the original root of the issue, all we're doing is treating symptoms. And it's unfortunate, and our current system is all about treating symptoms. Have you ever noticed if you get a medication and you start having side effects, you're like, well, let's take this medication to balance out the side effects from that medication. That just sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like a great idea at all. Okay? Now, I'm going to do for 3 more minutes, and I've got another call at 8:45. So when doctors and everyday people talk about heart disease, they refer to it as being caused by a buildup of cholesterol in our arteries. This is not the fact. The real issue is the calcium buildup in our arteries. Do you understand that when we're acidic, meaning negative emotions, drinking milk, alcohol, processed food, sugars, toxins, our body is constantly trying to alkalinize and balance out our internal pH. When we are not taking care of ourselves and very angry or very emotionally wound up and just not in a good place, that's constantly releasing acidity in our body. And when our body is acidic, guess what it does? It's extremely intelligent. So what it does is it starts pulling and leaching the calcium from our bones, our joints, and our teeth into our bloodstream to basically start to balance out the pH. Now here's the issue, is that as fast as calcium is being released into our bloodstream, our body cannot get it out of our bloodstream. So what happens is it starts to calcify. Hey Kelly, I appreciate you so much. Our body starts to get difficulty taking the calcium out of our veins. And what happens is now we start having high blood pressure, cholesterol issues, stroke potential. You start having all the issues with cardiovascular symptoms. My invitation to you is this. Trust what I'm telling you. Do your own research. Don't just trust me. Do your own research. And if you choose to trust me, you're hanging your hat in an amazing place. I trust myself, which is most important, right? So understanding that alkalinity, pH, acidity and alkalinity are 2 of the top things that you could definitely be very hyper vigilant about. That's why you see me drink Kangen water, alkaline water, vegetables, and balancing out things. And we're going to get into all this tomorrow. Just kind of opened up some files for you tonight. If anything you totally walked away with today, my encouragement to you is this. You are not a victim. You are a conscious creator creating in God's like image, which means every piece of you was created by God. So you are not a victim. You are a conscious creator. I'm empowering you with the knowledge to take full responsibility for yourself and to walk forward now from that position. Have faith. Take action. Experience, feel, and be courageous. That's the only way you're going to be able to move forward. My invitation to you is to forgive yourself permission to forget everything in your past that does not line up with you being loved, being validated, being worthy, and being blessed. If it does not line up with you being validated, loved, and being blessed, get rid of it. That's right. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Look, we live in a world of miracles. We live with a God of miracles. It's just a matter of us being aligned with our truth and aligning with God's word and aligning with God's laws specifically, and understanding that your language and what comes out of your mouth is your most important weapon. By your words you're justified, and by your words you are condemned. And we get into all this stuff in our Emotional Breakthrough series. So hey, I'm going to close out on that right now. I appreciate all of you, and here's the deal. If you're really looking to take your life to the next level and you would like to take advantage of the deal that I'm offering you tonight, because we're digging into our nutritional empowerment series, which is over 6 hours of amazing information we haven't even got into yet. You have an opportunity to invest in yourself for only $97. That's $400 off. It's a digital program. You dig into it. There's many people who are already on here that have already taken it. If you have some questions, message me. For all of my newbies on here, I would love to connect with you one-on-one and have a conversation with you. That's right, be a victor and not a victim. I would love to have a conversation with you to see how I can support you, what trainings I can do, and understand where you're going on and what your challenges are in life, so I can speak to that when I'm talking and when I'm doing my training. To take advantage of our special, go up to step 2. There's 2 bonuses on there. One is you're actually going to get Chris's free grocery store training. That's a $97 value, where he goes to the grocery store and talks about all kinds of amazing stuff that is directly applicable for what we're doing now and for you thriving. Second thing is you get a bonus conversation with me. Make sure after you enlist that you message me so I can get you Chris's video, and most importantly, so I can set up our time so you and I can connect and have a conversation. I'll see you back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we're literally going to start digging into how-tos, the procedures, what you do, why you open up your blood vessels, why you get more oxygen, why you thin out your blood, what foods do that, what foods reverse illnesses, what foods reverse homocysteine in your body, which is a marker when you go get your blood work done for your heart. I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process to do that. Make sure you get on my email list so you can get my notes, because there's a lot of stuff in there. So that's all I got. Have an amazing night. Message me after you enlist. Message me either way so we can connect. All my newbies and all my veterans, I appreciate you. Jen, Jennifer, Audrey, Matt, Teresa, Sonia, Vanessa. And if I forgot you, I choose to remember. And I appreciate you. Have an amazing night. And remember, if you don't make time for your wellness, you will make time for your illness. Bye-bye.